Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage Jewelry. My name is Linda. I'm an intuitive energy reader here on YouTube, and I use my intuition and spirit to communicate energies to you, the viewer. If this is your first time to pick a cards, you will select from one of these three options, and the option will be in the timestamp and the pinned comment below, which will take you directly to your pick. For this reading, we'll be taking a look at you versus your person. This might be actually quite a lengthy video here because we have lots to cover. We'll do kind of a you versus them with some pre-picked oracles, and then we'll pull some tarot as to what's going on in the connection. Take a deeper look, what's going on between you guys. And then we will pull some charms and the pendulum. So if you have any questions, you could do that. And we'll pull some timelines and as well a music card. So lots to cover here, and I can't wait to get into this. So take a look at these three. You'll be drawn to either pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3, which I will hold up for you guys. So you got this speckled green art glass heart for pile 1. Pile 2 is this piece of malachite, which reminds me of a turtle. Very cute. And we have this, I guess, ridged pink, purpley, iridescent art glass heart. Okay, so feel free to pause the video and I will see you at your timestamp. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 1. If you pick this speckled green art glass heart, then pile number 1, this is your reading. So we pre-picked the oracle cards here. We're doing a you versus your person, and then we'll take a look at energies between you guys, and then pull some tarot to take a deeper look as to what's going on in the connection. Okay, and then we'll do some charms, some dates, some songs, and also the pendulum. So make sure you have a question kind of ready, a yes, no question clear in your mind, but we will give you a heads up before we get into all that. In saying all that, very long reading. I'll try not to make this video super long, and videos are always super long, but I'll try to stick to the point. So what we have here are the pre-picked oracles. I've not looked at them at all. We have person A and person B, so you might be resonating with one side over the other. I'm going to try my best not to assume you're one side over the other, but sometimes I get right into the channeling and I'll just make an assumption you're resonating with one side over the other. So if I do say you, just kind of note if you're resonating with one side over the other, then just kind of try to keep that clear. There might be mirroring going on as well, so you might sound like both sides. Certainly it could just mean your person is experiencing similar energies because you guys are vibrating most likely in the same frequency, especially if you guys have come together. If you guys are in unity, then there might be even more mirroring going on. Okay, now yeah, let's get started with this. Okay, so person on this side over here, we have the Lamb. Okay, so that's Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have Autumn. We have the Mirror. All right, we're just talking about mirroring. These cards kind of look the same to me-ish, with the triangle there. All right, Mirror and Autumn, and then we have Olorin with Sing. Beautiful. And I offer words of good intent. Okay. For the other person, okay, we have Creation Solo, Solo Magic. We have Deer, also more Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Seed. We have I Am Humble. And we also have Raven's Head. Okay, let me just slide these over a tad so we can get everything in frame for you. Okay, so I will be referencing this person as the deer person and this person as the lamb person. All right. So let's flip the mixed energies as well so I can get a good idea of what's going on here in this connection. Okay, universal love with the number 44. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. Wow, that's beautiful. We have tension, square, okay, at the number 54. We have turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace, number 61. Okay. Just give me a minute to pick up on these energies, and it might take me a few minutes to get into the swing, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I am getting August might be significant. September might be significant, and July, okay? And then, like I said, for zodiacs, I was getting heavy earth energy. But what I sense here are two very kind, loving souls, okay? And I am also feeling like these are two very passive people where I feel as though maybe things aren't progressing in such a way that things aren't feeling like they're progressing, because I feel like both people are not... they're not the type to take control of a situation or be assertive. So what I feel is happening is this connection is coming together, and Spirit wants both these people to experience certain life lessons in order to push them to step themselves forward and being a little more assertive and going after what it is that they want. Okay, so I feel like both these people were caught off guard with this connection initially. I don't think either of these people were looking for a connection. I feel like the lamb person is potentially more closed off to the deer person. I feel like the deer person might be experiencing opening up and accepting the challenge that the universe has placed in front of them, embracing it a little more sooner than the lamb person. I feel like the lamb person is going through shedding a lot of their old ways of being. I feel like the deer person's really triggered this lamb person by how this deer person... Okay, something else is coming in before I get on that track. What Spirit's telling me is that the lamb and deer person, you guys might have known each other for quite some time and known each other to be a certain way. So it was very surprising when the lamb person either re-encountered this deer after a period of break, or maybe they were friends in the past and then came together at some other point in time, or the lamb understood the deer to be a certain way, and it could just be that the lamb perceived this deer to be a certain way, and then once the lamb was more exposed to this deer, the lamb saw the true colors of this deer, or at least they were surprised by how much this deer person changed, or weren't who they thought this deer person was. And I feel like the deer person was being called to... was really being pushed and called to explore their gifts to the world. I feel like the deer person, when this lamb person came together, was just on the precipice of taking action on their mission of what it is that they've been called to do here on Earth. I feel like this deer person is absolutely magical. And I feel like what has been more prevalent in this deer's, I guess, actions has been their ability to tap into this magical side of them. And I feel like the deer was really wobbly in learning these traits about themselves. And I feel like the deer, there's something just really innocent about the deer. Okay, I know lamb is innocent as well, but I feel like what's happening is the deer is starting to pick up a lot of the innocence maybe that the lamb is familiar with. So it's triggering this lamb to recognize this deer. Like this lamb is seeing themselves in this deer a lot, because I think this deer is innocently accepting what challenges are put in front of this deer. I also feel like there's a part of the deer that's surrendering this connection in some sort of way when it comes to what they're supposed to be doing or bringing forward. And if this connection kind of impedes, then it might pose an issue within the connection. I feel like both the deer and the lamb feel triggered by the deer's sense of maybe appearing as though they're not as committed to this connection because of their sense of calling or duty towards what it is that they're where it is that they're being pulled to do. And like I said, I feel like when the lamb and the deer kind of maybe started down this path, the deer was just getting into their calling or moving towards their purpose or exploring their magical traits, their creative abilities, and their talents that they might have neglected in the past. And I feel like the lamb person is seeing this. I feel like the lamb person is kind of wanting to support this deer person, but can't help but get triggered at the same time. I feel like there's a deep, deep love, if I didn't mention, between the deer and the lamb person. Like with this universal love, I feel like both these, the deer and the lamb, feel as though they are they come from the same soul family. I feel like there is this deep connection here that transcends this this time. I feel like both the lamb and the deer do feel this connection on a deep spiritual soul level. So it's very triggering when things aren't meshing or connecting. I feel like the lamb wants to be able to kind of get more involved with this deer, or at least help this deer in some capacity. And the more this lamb feels helpless or unable to help the deer, the more this lamb kind of gets triggered. But I feel like the lamb is being in a situation right now where they're having to shed their maybe ways of being that no longer serve them in such a way. And watching the deer go through what the deer's kind of going through, it's making the lamb really reflect on how they've been leading their life. Okay, I also feel like the lamb has an ability to really soothe this deer. I also feel like the lamb either has a job in like maybe being like a mediator, or like, what is that? Where they have like calming voice and people listen to their calming voice. I feel like there's something special about this lamb's voice. Okay, so either, I mean, this lamb could definitely be a singer as well. Yeah, there's something really soothing about this lamb's voice. I feel like the lamb either gives advice or heals people through word. I also heard worship. So maybe this lamb is like maybe a preacher of sorts, or likes to quote scripture, or also could like to quote poetry or words of healing, spoken word, that type of stuff. Yeah, I offer words of good intent. I feel like there is this ability for the lamb to put things into the open verbally that helps kind of helps this deer maybe understand, or put, I was going to say put to paper almost, but put in perspective what it is that this deer is going through, based on how the lamb's able to articulate this back to the deer. And why I think I said to paper is because maybe what this deer is doing here with this solo magic is potentially could have something to do with writing, or They're inspired to create something that this lamb person has really triggered this deer person to do. And I have a feeling it might even be around this deer's traumas from the past, being able to help heal them by putting it to paper, or helping others put something to paper. Maybe they're a counselor of sorts. Yeah, I feel like the deer is kind of well on their way from past pains, and now they're just looking to kind of maybe right some areas that they still were hanging on to, that they feel like they're releasing or in the process of releasing, but I feel like they're well on their way, whereas I feel like the lamb is still kind of learning to release some of that. Yeah, is there anything else here, Spirit, before we get into the tarot? Yeah, just again, I don't feel like they're right now maybe, or even in previous, like both parties seem really passive. So I don't think anyone was really making a move. And I think it was mostly because the deer was focused on like this soul purpose or calling, more so than what the lamb had going on. And the lamb kind of maybe shut down a little bit, but I do feel like both parties tend to be a little bit passive when it comes to really driving things forward in this connection. I think the lamb's scared, or at least has some sort of fear in the deer moving on too far ahead with their journey, and I think the lamb doesn't want to be left behind. I feel like the lamb wants to be supportive of the deer, but at the same time is kind of torn between what they kind of want. And I feel like the lamb really wants to be in this deer's life. I feel like the deer has like a knowing or an understanding that this lamb will always be a part of their life, but I don't know that the deer totally knows which way this is going right now, because I don't even think they're putting enough time or energy into really that at this time, which is kind of hurtful to this lamb. But I don't think the deer is intending on hurting the lamb. And I think the deer might need to realize that there is this pain that might not be able to come back from this lamb, because I feel like this lamb is very sensitive. And I'm just sensing that Spirit's saying that there might be damage to this lamb that might not be, that the deer might not be able to come back from, especially with the mirror. I'm getting like broken mirror, like almost you can't repair a broken mirror. I don't know if the deer realizes this, and I think this is why the lamb's getting a little bit panicky, because they know, I guess, how they might be faced with shedding things, including the connection with this deer. And once the mirror is broken, metaphorical mirror, I guess, or some sort of reflection that the deer is giving the lamb and the lamb's able to shed, I don't think the lamb's able to go back to that headspace. And so I guess they think they probably can't go back to that heart space either. So they're trying to hang on to this, or at least trying to send signals to this deer, because I don't think the lamb is being, although they use their voice, I don't think they're communicating, being assertive enough to this deer to get this point across. So there's this sense of panicking. And I think it's creating a lot of this tension between the two of them. Okay. So let's get into the tarot here and see kind of deeper what's going on between this deer and this lamb. Okay, so I got the deer and I got the lamb. And, all right, we'll use... Yeah, I had to get the biggest freaking tarot cards for this. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll use this tarot for the lamb, and we'll use that tarot for the deer. So, Spirit, for the lamb person, can we get clear and concise message? Thank you so much, Spirit. I'm so grateful. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the highest good of pile number 1 and their person. Thank you. And thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we got the Queen of Pentacles here for the Lamb, which is confirming that Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay. And we're getting the Five of Cups. This is the Ace of Wands. And pull one more. Got the Seven of Cups, okay. Pull some for the deer. Spirit for the deer person. Can we get some clear and concise message? What's going on with this deer person in this connection? Thank you so much. All right, so we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Four of Swords, and we have the Page of Wands. I'm just going to overlap here so we can have some space. I'll pull one more here for the deer person. Thank you, Spirit. We got the Hangman. Okay. So it's kind of confirming what we were seeing here. I'll start with the deer, just because the deer, like, they were getting a higher perspective of the bigger picture as to, because with this raven's head, it's talking about, you know, not being able to unsee what you see once you've been called on a mission to move forward. And you're kind of being pushed down a path that Spirit is calling you to go down, that you don't really, yeah, you can't really just ignore anymore, either due to a situation that has now opened your eyes, or an experience that you're now kind of, that's been bestowed upon you, that you kind of have to run with this Hangman. I feel like the deer is now kind of taking a look at not only their own life, yeah, I feel like it's more their own life as opposed to looking at this connection, their own life from this perspective. And I feel like what they're really wanting to do is build this Ten of Pentacles, which is this like abundance, stability, whatever it means to this deer person. Okay, so it could very well be financial stability. Maybe it's a sort of stability that this deer person's never been able to cultivate. Maybe they've never owned their own place. Maybe they've never been able to build something that they could call their own. Maybe they never really felt secure in their future. And I feel like they really want this security for themselves. I feel like they've done a lot of this healing, but I do feel like they are still in this Four of Swords energy, which is kind of frustrating to the Lamb because they're not able to pierce through. So it sounds like, or it seems to the deer person, sorry, it seems to the Lamb person that this deer person, because of the fact that they are driving towards something and they're very active in this energy, so the Lamb feels forward, I don't know, I'm having a hard time talking. The Lamb feels, oh my god, now I'm talking with an accent. Yo, what's going on? The Lamb, and y'all from Alabama. So I had a, yeah, I just wanted to say Alabama. Okay, the Lamb person is recognizing this deer person moving forward with full momentum, and it's almost triggering because in this connection, when the Lamb knew the deer wasn't making this forward momentum to the Lamb. So it's like the Lamb knew this deer to be kind of passive, or at least on their level of go-getterness, and now this deer is driving forward. So now the Lamb's like, well, what does that mean about me? Like, does the deer not want to move forward with me? And in fact, now the deer is trying to pierce through this. The Lamb's trying to pierce through this deer, and this keeps getting this Four of Swords energy, which is the deer like healing and like being kind of removed, like they're trying to heal themselves. But the Lamb's like, well, if you're moving forward, I don't understand why I'm getting this Four of Swords energy. And it's really reflected here by this Page of Wands, because this Page of Wands is kind of like, you know, the initial stages of going after an inspiration and being kind of driven towards something here. And the deer's most likely communicated what this looks like and has started this mission, I guess, or at least is kind of starting to work towards this mission. So the lamb does see movement, but the movement is kind of more away from the lamb, or at least that's how the lamb feels. And then the lamb's like, well, why are you always so closed off here? But you're able to kind of still move forward, even though you say you're healing here, but you're moving towards something. So I think the lamb's having a hard time trusting in the deer's journey, and I feel like the deer has no choice but to trust their own journey. So how could they expect the lamb to trust it? And then here with the tarot, the Queen of Pentacles, then we have the Five of Cups and the Ace of Wands, and then the Seven of Cups. Yeah, so I feel like this Five of Cups is really showing that sadness that the lamb is experiencing, maybe what they knew the deer to be, or what they had expected or wanted this connection kind of to go or be. And I feel like they're experiencing this sense of sadness, and they're having to go through this autumn period, which is really releasing anything that doesn't serve them, and they're kind of shedding old feelings. I think they're in the process of releasing this Five of Cups, to be honest. And the Queen of Pentacles does talk about, you know, an energy of someone who is very much very adaptive to their situation. It's like mother energy, right? Someone who's good with their hands, good with their money, good at multitasking, very grounded, very dependable, very solid. So I feel like this lamb person has probably experienced this Ten of Pentacles already, or at least has a Ten of Pentacles type situation. So they don't really understand maybe the drive this deer has to find this Ten of Pentacles. Now I feel like this lamb person is, or will be very soon, inspired to take a look at their own direction of what it is that they want for themselves, with the Seven of Cups talking about all these different options. So I feel like the lamb's been very much involved in what's been going on with the deer, and now the lamb's being presented with this spark to really take a look at what the lamb wants for themselves once they shed this energy of maybe being so wrapped up in the deer, or waiting on the deer to provide them some sort of something, because it's been causing nothing but this tension. And I feel like the lessons for both is this universal love, where I feel like they're both being driven by this universal love. One more so, this deer, by giving back in some sort of capacity to others to help them, and kind of it helps heal the deer. But I feel like the deer is being more driven towards this like gift to humanity, give with gratitude and grace, whereas I feel like this universal love, the lamb is learning to give themselves universal love. I feel like the lamb's never really been able to provide themselves the same love that they were able to give to others. So I feel like the lamb's being called upon to take a look at all the great options and opportunities that is present for the lamb here, that's going to give them a sense of purpose and give them yeah, like there's other options outside of this deer for this lamb person to really look at and explore. Okay, and I feel like the lamb person has had to experience, or will be experiencing, this sadness, or like letting go of this connection. So I think maybe if you, so I'm assuming you're a lamb, if you come here as the lamb, maybe you've been parted with the deer person and have had to kind of go through some sort of mourning of this connection in some capacity, in order to then be inspired to move forward with what's next for you, lamb person. Whereas I think the deer is still a little bit wrapped up in, you know, taking this thing off the ground. Yeah, I'd like to see more of where this is headed. So let's look at future potential, and then we'll get into the charms and stuff. Okay, so This is for both. Can we, spirits, take a look at future potential? What's going to happen here between this lamb and this deer person in the future? If they are in a period of separation here, or at least trying to find their way. What's the future potential between the lamb and the deer? Thank you so much, spirits. Okay. Being called to cut the deck. All right. So we have the Eight of Pentacles. We got Strength. I'm feeling this one here. We got Judgment. We have the Three of Pentacles, and then we have the Devil. Okay, I heard from Spirit, and we have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I heard from Spirit, it's not over. That there's still more to be had within this connection. Okay, so if this is a period of pause, then potentially there are lessons to be learned. I feel like the biggest lesson here is the deer is learning to be in this Nine of Pentacles energy, because I feel like the lamb has already embraced the Queen of Pentacles, which is that ability to be strong and abundant. And you know, because the Queen of Pentacles could be like single mom energy, being able to work, have a family, have their own place, and be very solid. Whereas I feel like this deer person is in this Nine of Pentacles, which is, you know, standing in their own success, trying to build like a foundation for themselves. So I feel like there is this dedication, and like the Eight of Pentacles is the most dedicated card in the tarot when it comes to staying to task, putting in energy and effort and details, and really sticking to a project. And I feel like it's become kind of the mission of this deer to do this, but it's taking a lot of strength. I feel on both sides, because I feel like the deer, again, is, if they had a choice, they would most likely choose this lamb, but because they've been called upon with this raven's head, I feel like they feel as though they have no choice, but they're recognizing their need for this Nine of Pentacles. So they're trying to control the situation as best that they can, and I feel like the lamb has no choice but to kind of release this deer. And it's taking this strength for both of these parties. But I feel like with the Judgment here in the middle, I think there is this this knowing that there is still something required, that they're able to, or that they're having to come together to work together to create, which is why there's such a strong pull. Three of Pentacles is working with another, collaborating, working on a project with other people. So I just feel like there's this realization that they're actually able to work together. They don't have to be so secluded. And they're Nine of Pentacles, because Nine of Pentacles could be the single card, right? So maybe the deer feels as though they want to be independently single, bachelor. You see the Death card here, so potentially there needs to be kind of more of an ego death of what it means to be kind of independently single. Maybe what I'm feeling is the deer still has some lessons to learn when it comes to why it is that they're trying to build this Nine of Pentacles. Is it built on material stuff? Is this just built on giving them a sense of being able to feel empowered within themselves? And I feel like the deer recognizes there's a sense of empowerment more so than just being this Nine of Pentacles, where I feel like this lamb person is needing to shed maybe that Queen of Pentacles in such a way that's allowing them to not be so materialistic, I was going to say, or at least like, you know, seeing this Nine of Pentacles as like what it is that you've built. Like there needs to be a death here of certain views, I guess, in order for there to be a collaboration. And with this Judgment, that's like a realization around this. So I think this is, once this happens, there's an ability to kind of work together. Now we can't help but see the Devil card here, and the Devil card, yeah, the Devil card is certainly something that could be highlighting like being bound to something, addictions, obsessions. So I'm just going to get a clarifier here for the devil. And I do see Leo here. I also see Capricorn. So we're getting very heavy earth energy still. Why is the devil here? So we got the Page of Cups. Okay, one more. I don't know where this is stemming from. The Six of Pentacles. This is stemming from spirits, the Two of Wands. Okay, so yeah, there's in the future, because of the future position, the Two of Wands talks about options and future decisions. I feel like there is going to be this almost obsessive need to extend this cup of love. I'm feeling this being the Deer's energy. Okay, the deer needing to communicate to this lamb this cup of love and how the this lamb makes this deer feel. And I feel like the deer's wanting to start sharing emotions with this lamb. With the Six of Pentacles, this is like the lamb's been kind of investing in this deer emotionally or energetically, and so I feel like the deer wants to give back to this lamb in the Six of Pentacles type of way, which is like trying to balance things out in such a way where maybe the lamb was, you know, over giving, and now this deer feels like there's this strong desire to move forward. And I feel like it's in regards to sharing emotions and communicating how they feel or what it is that they're feeling. Okay, but I still don't know why it's so devil. I feel like maybe they're like going to be really hung up with and obsessed with providing some sort of balance to this lamb person. And I think that, yeah, I think this deer, yeah, I don't need to clarify, but I'll pull one just in case. But I feel like this deer person is going to be really challenged with, once they kind of settle in their mission here and reflecting back on what's happened between them, that they're going to be kind of obsessed with evening things out here when it comes to expressing their emotions for this lamb person. So I think they'll kind of see in hindsight how the lamb's been very giving. Yeah, Five of Cups. They're going to feel like really, really bad about how they might have been. Although Spirit is saying they're experiencing this raven's head, so they're kind of have their blinders on, but maybe they're going about it in such a way that's shutting out this lamb. So this devil energy is talking about them circling back in some sort of obsessive way because they feel so bad about how they weren't able to maybe invest here with emotions. And what pages talk about communication. So I feel like they're going to have this obsessive need to communicate to the lamb, you know, how they're feeling, maybe why they weren't investing, but it's really because they're feeling like very horrible about looking back on a situation. Okay, so there is potential for sure here. Now let us pull some of these. So what does the lamb wants to communicate to the deer person? If they were to say anything to this deer person, what do they want to communicate to the deer person? What do they want to say? They want to say, I want to take my time and go slow. Okay, of course, both of these are going very slow. I'm just doing me right now. Yeah, so this lamb's learning to do this autumn. And I think, yeah, I think the releasing of what's not serving them and leaning into that Seven of Cups and what they want for themselves. Oh, I want to taste you. Well, there's still some passion here for sure. From the lamb towards the deer. Okay, so let's take a look at, yeah, I think that's why there's heavy Five of Cups here with the lamb. I feel like the lamb really still cares for this deer, but they have no choice but to kind of release this deer. And they need to focus on themselves. And I think they're also trying to release maybe what might have been more materialistic in their life, or what they saw as maybe being stable might not necessarily mean stability within themselves, because I feel like they're still fairly fragile when it comes to that. I need to be honest with you. Yeah, we were seeing that with the tarot, where the devil was coming out and the deer needing to communicate their emotions, reach out. So they want to communicate. I think the deer is going to be wanting to reach out at some point in time when there's that judgment and that realization that there's still a possibility of collaboration and cooperation. But I feel like it'll be the deer that has to do this, because the lamb, I feel, has just been trying, or at least in the past was, and now they're kind of more focused on them, and now this deer feels like they want to reach out. Please don't move on without me. Yeah, so the deer is recognizing this lamb kind of doing its own thing now, because the deer's been so driven by their own thing. So that could definitely be the energy of what's going on here. Let's pull one of these. Okay, so I think this is going to be an area of maybe what the lamb likes about this deer person, either characteristic or personality or situation or something. Destined relationship. So I feel, yeah, like the lamb feels as though this deer was destined to be with the lamb in some capacity, which I think is why it's been very painful. I feel like the lamb was more aware or awakened to this connection than the deer, and has had to put their head down to work through that shedding, even letting go of this deer person safe. So the deer feels definitely safe in this connection with the lamb. And I think the deer has always kind of wanted to feel safe in some capacity, because of the fact that we saw them working on their 9 of Pentacles. So maybe they, yeah, feel like they need to stand in their own success. They need to be independently strong. And I feel like that's very important. And yeah, they're being really called to do that with this raven's head. And that's been their focus. So let's take a look at the charms. And we will do this. So and then we'll pull some of that. Okay, so start thinking of a question, and we'll do charms, and then we could do your question. Yes, no question, okay? All right. Things are falling. Okay, so I got the Christmas wrapping paper. So Christmas could be significant, or gifts in general could be significant. Also snowflakes, so could be living in a climate where there is winter right now, or snow. Snowflake also could be just one of a kind. I feel like this connection is kind of very unique in how it formed. And I feel like the lamb and the deer both kind of see the uniqueness in each other, which makes this connection very difficult to move on from, because I feel like both of them feel, I know for sure the lamb's been feeling it, and then I feel like this deer comes into that devil energy where I feel like both of them feel they can't get someone of that same uniqueness, or find someone in that same uniqueness. Okay, so here we see the 6 of Pentacles again, which is that need for balancing things out, which I feel the deer is going to be wanting to do here again. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, this deer is definitely working on their self stability, building themselves up independently, single, so that they're strong enough to want to invest. This 4 of Pentacles can talk about that feeling of holding back, right? Not providing with the 6 of Pentacles yet, because a sense of lack. Maybe they feel like they don't have enough to give, or if they give what they do have, they might not be able to stand on their own. There's this Death card, and I feel like this Death card really talks about, yeah, this relationship, the way it, or I guess the way this connection has been in the past, is definitely coming to an end. I feel like the lamb with this autumn has been embracing the death of what this connection might have used to be with this 10 of Swords. So I know that the lamb's feeling this pain that maybe the deer will encounter a little later. Anxiety, lots of anxiety. I feel on both ends there's anxiety with this 9 of Swords, because I think subconsciously the deer knows that he's causing pain. I say he, but could very well be feminine as well. But I was feeling divine masculine. Could definitely be feeling he's causing pain to the lamb with this 9 of Swords. And there's almost like this anxiety about not being able to come together, to work together, because they feel they're growing apart. Again, with this Page of Cups, yeah, I really feel like this deer person, these cards right here we're seeing, right? We were seeing the 6 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and this Page of Cups. The only thing we're not seeing is the devil. Is I really feel like the deer wants to come forward. Okay, and for a lot of you guys, because this is energy, this deer person could very well be already on their way to making this offer, this cup of love, if this person feels stable enough. Now, I don't feel like this person is wanting to like be 100%, you know, own their own whatever, like place outright and like everything in line. I just feel like this deer person wanted to get back on track and stand on their own 2 feet before they get into this Page of Cups energy, which is feeling this need or this desire to express their emotions. Yeah, Queen of Cups, and it was kind of coming in reverse here. And with the Queen of Cups, well, this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. I feel like there is definitely love here, but with it in reverse, I feel like it's definitely blocked right now because of circumstances of what's going on. It's causing all this like tension. Okay, and we were seeing tension in the middle here. So there's definitely this tension between the two. So for initials, we have V, we have W. I also heard Volkswagen, so maybe someone here drives a Volkswagen. And then we have this little plus sign, so maybe a Chrysler. Or somebody works in the medical field here with the plus. I feel like this also is saying and, so there's like and some more, because I don't feel like the connection is over. I feel like it's like and now there's like a new chapter, and now there's more here. Okay, so the initial P, so you or your person could have any one of these initials here. Okay, so the key talks about a solution, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like there will be a solution that kind of is gifted in this connection, and just trusting divine timing, because the watch always gives me that divine timing. So I feel like there is some divine timing going on here where a solution will just kind of come forward. The tree again, which is giving me heavy Christmas tree, so maybe Christmas is significant again. This can also just mean you know, like even in the winter time, you know, where things are kind of maybe dying out, there's still like an evergreen is still green. So maybe I feel like during this harsh time of where the lamb feels as though they're letting go of this deer person, or that they feel very distant, and that they're moving apart, Spirit is saying that there's still this green greenery and life under it all that's still there, that won't die, that won't go away, and just kind of to trust this process. Okay, and we got a crown here, so could definitely be either the deer or the lamb kind of coming into their power. I was getting heavy this Queen of Cups type crown. So I just feel like it being in reverse, that there needs to be a self-worth, right? Like I feel like the lamb is learning their self-worth with this crown, learning to bless themselves with maybe what they were trying to find in this deer person. We got this luggage, so definitely could be some travel involved in this connection, or like a trip planned. This is more like maybe even a day trip. I'm not seeing really any planes or anything. Oh, and then a butterfly. So this little butterfly talks about transformation. I feel like both the lamb and the deer are definitely going through this transformation. And the feather, which talks about our ancestors potentially giving us a sign. When we find a feather, they're watching us. It's kind of like our destined path. With the feather, I feel like things are, again, destiny is just kind of unfolding in a way that's like providing the best solution for moving this connection forward. Okay, so now let's pull some timelines here. Now this could be birthdays, this could be anniversary dates, this could be next contact dates, significant dates. So just kind of take what resonates here, and then we'll pull some music. So 7, so I was sensing July earlier, or the 7th of any month really. 7 weeks, 7 days. Might have something going on here in this connection. 7 is also destiny. It's like a spiritual number, so I feel like this is a very heavy spiritual destined connection here with the number 7. It's also luck. So with the key here, I feel like there is this success. There's this luck that kind of intervenes, that kind of happens. And yeah, this is also giving me like medic, like there needs to be some healing. There needs to be some repair here, what I feel, because there's still some pain. January. Okay, so January might be significant. January 7th might be significant. This January that passed, maybe something happened. We're just coming out of January. I know this is a timeless reading, so. And then we have December. So maybe December, January, this Christmas. Again, Christmas just keeps coming up. So maybe there's a birthday around Christmas or an anniversary around Christmas time with that December, January. I'm going to pull one more. And we have the 17th. So the 17th of the month could be very important, could be birthday, anniversary. And then we have the 30th on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this could be in 1 month, in 17 days. This is also giving me heavy like moon cycles, even though I think moon cycles are 20 something. Anyway, they're not quite 30, but for me, I'm just picking up like these moon cycles are kind of coming in. And I'm also getting full moon from this. I don't know why, but maybe next full moon might be something significant, or there's different emotions that are able to progress things during certain moon cycles with this key here. So maybe just kind of take note of moon cycles. Maybe you're feeling more anxious around certain moon cycles than others. Okay, which might trigger emotional responses in a different way. So let's pull a song card and then we'll do the pendulum. Spirit, can we get a song card for pile number 1 and their person? A song for pile number 1 and their person. All right, so we got Backstreet Boys. Oh, how cute. As long as you love me. Okay. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history as long as you're here with me. That's very cute. And with Backstreet Boys, maybe there's I don't know, like older generation going on here, because I know Backstreet Boys is not maybe anything that newer generation might be familiar with. So, okay, let's move this over. And, okay, so get a yes-no question ready in your mind, and we will ask the pendulum. Let it be clear, okay, but it has to be a yes-no question. And then, yeah, so pause, think of your question, and then I will tell you if it's yes, no. Okay, ready, and ask your question. Okay. Your answer is yes at this time. Energy fluctuates, okay? So it's yes right now as the trajectory of energy is flowing. This could change, so just keep an open mind as to what that looks like. But your answer was yes. And yeah, we'll move into pile number 2 shortly. So I just wanted to thank you guys for allowing me to tap into your energy. I hope this helped. Leave a comment, leave a like, and if I haven't mentioned, I'm so grateful for all of you guys who've been engaging in my channel, leaving likes, leaving comments, sharing, subscribing. Absolutely grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, my new subscribers. Love and light. See you soon, guys. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. If you pick this piece of malachite that I said reminded me of a turtle, then this is your reading. Absolutely love this stone. All right, so, wow, I know this is going to be lengthy, and I'm already like an hour in, and I've only done 1 pile. So I'm trying to be detailed, but not drag this out so crazy. But we will get into a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to be looking at you versus your person. Okay, I've pre-shuffled these oracle cards. I've not looked at them at all. So you could be resonating with person A or person B. And sometimes I get into channeling where I'm referencing you as a side, but you could certainly be resonating with either. So I'll try to keep it kind of more general. And then we'll be looking at kind of merging energies between the two. And then we'll pull some tarot and take a look at the connection. We'll also be pulling some channel messages, some charms, a song, and the pendulum. So make sure you have a yes/no question for later. Okay, so let's get into this. So for the person on this side, we have the dragonfly. Oh, beautiful. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Okay, we have spirit with act. All right, getting the mystic here. 2 winged beings. Very cool. Getting very like light energy here, very angelic. I am kind. Okay. Very interesting with the flame going up here too. And we got sulfur. Okay. Interesting how there's a scent coming from this, a burning kind of scent coming from this, and then sulfur. I feel like this person's like igniting in some sort of way. Okay. We have calcification. Okay, totally see what's going on here. This person's totally igniting this person here. This is totally cute. Okay, hyena. I remain in balance with my emotions. Sorry, this is really cute. The sword. Okay. And we have Rye with freedom. Very interesting. Okay, and then let's just flip these shared energies so I can get the full picture before I start channeling. The 8th house with mystery. Wow, look at this card, you guys. It's also the number 10. Okay. And we have fertility with the number 27. Just number 9. It says the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Wow. Okay. And we have the number 40 here with mouse spirits. Tend to the small things. Okay. So what I feel is really going on here is there is this dragonfly energy, which is somebody who's absolutely beautiful and magical and mystic and into spirituality. And I feel like this person is really inspiring, okay? And very beautiful, very light energy. And I feel like the hyena is kind of feeling like they're coming from the opposite end of life. Like they've had it hard. They've been maybe in situations that have like really required them to be aggressive in such a way, and maybe a little bit more yeah, like backbiting and more rough around the edges and kind of a little more cruel and just have this tough exterior. Whereas this dragonfly I feel is like very beautiful and graceful and dainty. Not that the hyena isn't beautiful by any means, but just the feeling I'm getting, the hyena sees this dragonfly as this like beautiful energy that's like flowy, that's spiritual, that's healing. And what I feel is happening is that the hyena got this trigger from the dragonfly person to inspire them to change who they are, which is really rocking their core. Okay, so now the dragonfly isn't like requiring this hyena to change, but the hyena is just recognizing in the dragonfly this way of being that the hyenas never really considered. So maybe the hyenas live their life in such a way that was, you need to, you know, dog eat dog, you need to kind of bite people in order to get what you want. You might not sometimes you might have to lie or be a certain way or be deceitful or cunning in order to get things to happen. Whereas they will witness this dragonfly person just kind of go through life in such a way that seems very flowy and natural and light and loving, and still perform and still move forward. Okay. And there's something very magical about this dragonfly person that the hyena is really mesmerized, but there's also this feeling of being angry at the dragonfly, because I don't think the hyena was expecting to get triggered by the dragonfly, and it's kind of hard to be angry at this dragonfly person because the dragonfly person is very sweet and very nice. But the more this dragonfly persons inspire this hyena, the more it's starting to make the hyena with the sulfur just really not comfortable. Okay, like they're having to address you know, what smells in their life. Okay, what's been smelling all along, or where they haven't been maybe acting in their highest good, or maybe where they could have been acting in such a way that they are recognizing that they haven't. So I feel like with the sword here, there is like this, the hyena's definitely resisting, but seeing these two sides of maybe, you know, it's interesting. We have two sides of the moon here with the hyena, and then with the sword of truth cutting through, you know, the dark and the light, and then you have the masculine and the feminine here with the moon and the sun. I just feel like this hyena is being very hypersensitive to what's good, or what feels good, or what is true in your highest good, and what feels bad, and what is dark, and what might not be acceptable, and what might not be loving, and, you know, what is distorted masculine, and what is standing in your power but still being truthful to yourself. Like, I feel like these lessons is what the hyena is kind of just looking at. But I feel like the hyena has been very much the type into wanting to be free with this freedom card. So for them, they like the fact that this dragonfly seems as though they've been living their life free to do whatever it is that the dragonfly needs to do to accomplish themselves. And so the hyena loves the sense of freedom, but I feel like the hyena hasn't felt as though they've been allowed an opportunity of freedom, because they've maybe been bound by things in their environment that they're now seeing that might be restrictions, or actually not as free as they thought they were. Because this dragonfly person is appearing as someone who is doing what it is that this dragonfly person wants to do. And there is this real true sense of freedom that the hyena is almost like jealous of. And I don't know if jealous is the right word, but kind of in awe of, because the dragonfly hasn't had to be deceitful or whatever, and the dragonfly is making it kind of look easy, whereas the hyena maybe thought they had a sense of freedom, but really what they thought was freedom was maybe restricting them and not as free as they thought they were. So I remain in balance with my emotions. I feel like this is also giving me that dual thing, the yin and yang, like we're just kind of getting it everywhere. I feel like this person, the hyena, is really trying to look at their light side and their shadow side and really kind of make sense of what that looks like. And in balancing this out in order to get a true sense of freedom. I feel like they thought maybe they always had a good balance until they met this dragonfly. I think this dragonfly threw this hyena right off balance. The fact that we have calcification here, and then we have like these like two flames or whatever, I feel like the flame that's being caused, or the spark of inspiration is being caused by the dragonfly towards the hyena. And I don't think the hyena was actively trying to spark or send this, the dragonfly wasn't intending on leading this hyena down this, you know, crazy path. But what's happened is that that flame has kind of shaken up this calcification in the hyena's life, where the hyena was very fixed, and where the hyena thought that, you know, they had to be backbiting, or they had to be in a certain way, that this is how they get their freedom, that this is how they believe things to be true, and this is how they keep a balance on emotions. And things started to really calcify in this hyena's life, and spirit wanted to shake things up, loosen things up, so that the hyena can cut through some of this and really take a look at, you know, what is true here. The fact that we have like fertility as the shared, I feel like there is so much to be birthed between this dragonfly and this hyena. I know I talked a lot about how the dragonfly was kind of impacting the hyena, and I feel like, yeah, that's mostly what I'm getting. I'm not getting so much what this dragonfly is getting from the hyena so much yet. Maybe we'll see it in the tarot. I don't know why that is. It's kind of interesting, but these are shared. So fertility means being able to, because I'll read this again because I thought it was beautiful. It says the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Yeah, I feel like what's happening is that this hyena is allowing this dragonfly person to really see the beauty almost in things in a different way and really also embrace themselves. I don't think the dragonfly ever really also recognized how beautiful this dragonfly person was. And not that they needed this hyena for contrast, but I am picking up that learning the hyena's ways has made this dragonfly feel a little bit more aware of how they go about maybe expressing themselves in the world. This mystery, I feel, is certainly what is drawing these two together. I feel like there is this yeah, like, you know, almost Beauty and the Beast type energy I'm getting. Not that, again, this hyena is a beautiful person, but I just feel like there's this mystery about why these two people are brought together here. Like, what are they here to birth? You know, what is bringing them together? And the 10 to small things I'm feeling, there is a frustration, I think, because both parties are maybe trying to be free, because I feel like both parties enjoy this sense of spirit, this sense of freedom, but they're trying to like control or tend to things, where spirit's saying, okay, tend to small things. Like the things that they're able to control is fine, but they can't really control the outcome of what is supposed to be happening here in this connection. So I feel like there is a lot of mystery around, okay, what's going to happen next? What's supposed to be birthed from here for two people who are so free-spirited. There is a lot of trying to maybe control things in such a way. Also, I'm getting maybe for this dragonfly person, because this is 10 to the small things, maybe this dragonfly person is trying to see this bigger picture, whereas they might be ignoring the small things that's going on in this connection and the journey so much because they're just focused on maybe outcome or where the end result is going, that I think this 10 to small things is like a flag to be more present. Yeah, to be more present in the now than in what they see as a goal or what they see as their future. And the mystic with the spirit here. Yeah, I do feel like this person is highly spiritual, very mystical, very loving. But I feel like maybe where they've always kind of been loving and been in one way, I don't think they were expecting it to cause this sulfur towards this hyena. And what I mean by cause the sulfur, it's like being them, their own flowy type spiritual self has really sparked something that could be perceived as, well, it's not negative, but it's perceived this uncomfortableness in this hyena. So it's like the dragonfly feels like, okay, well, every time I'm around this hyena, I tend to make them feel this certain way. So they're kind of not sure whether they should come near the hyena. Should they give the hyena some space? You know, they recognize that maybe the hyena isn't liking being uncomfortable with that spark. And I don't know that the dragonfly sees this calcification that's happened in the hyena's life and why this hyena is being as triggered as they have been. Yeah, because I feel like the hyena is really trying to balance this out within themselves. And maybe this dragonfly is kind of coming in and then kind of going out and just kind of testing the waters here. All right, so let's take a look at the tarot and this connection and see what we see. Okay, so I kind of want to use this one on the left and the other one on the right. So I'm feeling more divine feminine coming from this. So maybe a lot of you guys are resonating with this dragonfly energy, but it could be either or side. And we'll just pull what this dragonfly with the tarot spirit, what's going on here with the dragonfly energy. Can we take a look at the connection, a deeper look? What's going on right now with this dragonfly towards this connection, towards the hyena? Thank you so much, Spirit, and thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy. I'm so blessed. All right, let's take a look. These cards are fairly big, so I'm going to try overlapping. So, okay, Ace of Cups, lots of love. Ace of Wands, wow, lots of attraction, lots of love. Ace of Swords. This person's intense. All 3 aces. I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay, this person wants an emotional new beginning and a passionate, inspired new beginning and a truthful new beginning. Yeah, there's a clarity. There's a knowing happening right now with this person. And the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my God, absolutely beautiful. I love this energy. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Let's take a look at the hyena energy. This is so funny. I should take a picture of that. All right, so Spirit, what's going on with hyena here in this connection? How's the hyena feeling? What's going to happen between hyena and dragonfly? So we got the Knight of Wands. Okay, so definitely passionate as well. Now the Knight of Wands could be one knight that wants to, yeah, that's really more driven by desires and passions. Could be just hot, fleeting energy rather than a solid type energy here. Okay, you got Temperance. Yeah, so healing, balancing things out, balance. Sorry, the balance card here with the sword. Yeah, there's definitely a need to balance. There's also an emphasis on healing. I feel like this person's been very calcified. The Nine of Wands. Okay, lots of passion, but still this person is guarded. And also the Ace of Wands. Okay, so I can see definite passion and desire towards each other. With the Ace of Wands, there's this like heavy chemistry, okay? Between these two, a very passionate desire. I feel like the Wands is, the hyena with all these wands here is really, really passionately attracted to this dragonfly person. And I feel like the Knight of Wands is not quite sure how to allow things to continue in such a way as to have this Nine of Wands wall up. Okay, like the wall to protect themselves. And I think they're protecting themselves as they learn to balance with this Temperance. It's like, how much of themselves do they give? How much of themselves are they able to express without losing their sense of freedom or what they feel is freedom to themselves? So they might be showing up as this Knight of Wands, which is like a fleeting energy coming in and out, whereas this dragonfly person is more solid with this Queen of Pentacles. Okay, this is like mother energy, the wifey energy, someone who is able to work, feed the kids, hold a job, very good with their hands, cooking, cleaning, building. I feel like maybe this hyena person sees this person kind of as the complete package. I feel like this person wants to start everything new, okay? Everything new. Emotionally, they're inspired to start things new. They want to be starting something new on trust and truth. And I also feel like maybe this is a clean break or a clean start for this dragonfly person, because I feel like they've had to cut through a lot of untruths and feel like they have to, like, yeah, just start everything kind of new, okay? And coming from this place of abundance. And I feel, excuse me, like this hyena person is really focusing on how they can balance themselves so that they can show up maybe in this connection in a different way. But I do see a lot of like wands. I'm not seeing a lot of cups here. So I'm not quite sure the emotional side, aside from just being like really attracted to each other. And I was getting from Spirit that maybe this could be two masculines as well. Okay, with the aces of wands here on either side. So that might be confirmation for some of you guys that have two masculine connection. All right, so now let's take a look at, yeah, just future potential of this connection here. I'll use these ones. So Spirit, can we take a look at future potential here between the dragonfly and the hyena? What's going to happen next? What further clarity do you want to provide here? Thank you so much, Spirit. All right, so we have the Six of Swords. We have the Judgment. Interesting, that came out in pile 1. And we got the Two of Cups. Aww. And we got the Eight of Cups. And we have the Hangman. All right, and bottom of the deck energy, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so bottom of the deck is kind of the flavor of this, which Eight of Pentacles is talking about putting in the energy, effort, dedication, the detail, the work required, the elbow work required to make something kind of happen. So I feel like there is this dedication that both the hyena and the dragonfly have towards making this connection work. I just think they both are really hung up on how they think it's supposed to work and how it's supposed to move forward. So I feel like there's a need to move away from anguish. I feel like this tend to the small things. I feel like maybe there's been a lot of Yeah, I feel like there's a situation that has happened, especially the dragonfly might be coming out of a situation. It could be from their past or coming out of a situation with the hyena, where I feel like the dragonfly might have had to relearn to trust this hyena, because we were seeing all those aces. It's almost like they had to put water under the bridge, because with the Ace of Swords, I'm feeling like there's a need for a truth to kind of come out. And so I feel like there's this moving away from maybe what was mentally holding them back. I'm feeling like both parties here with the Six of Swords, yeah, are moving away from turbulent times, or turbulent times in this connection. And if this is a newer connection, then certainly the hyena away from that calcification and how they were kind of more in that aggressive nature, and this dragonfly out of maybe a connection in which they want to start all new. There's this judgment card, which is like this realization, this awakening, this like stage in which you can't really ignore this, accepting things as they kind of are. And I feel like what this realization is that there is this partnership that with the Two of Cups, this is two people coming together to share love and emotions. And I feel like there is this need to walk away, okay, a walking away from maybe what emotionally felt more balanced, as a sense of maybe control as like this way things are supposed to be to provide freedom, or maybe a thought here with the hyena, and a sense here of emotionally maybe walking away from past situations that this dragonfly was potentially, yeah, I feel like this dragonfly is on the path of letting go of something that maybe they were emotionally hurt by in some capacity, because we're now seeing this Ace of Cups, which is an emotional new beginning. There's this walking away from perspectives, because I feel like both these people have their own perspective. Yeah, I'm getting very heavy that this dragonfly person, because they are very spiritual, they might think they know, because I feel like they are very smart, but they're trying to like come to this outcome of what they know it to be, and spirit's like, well, yeah, just because you're very intellectual, and maybe there is this knowing with intuition, it's like they're trying to force things into this knowing of what it is, whereas this person might need to release some ways of them thinking they know what's best for a situation, and releasing their perceptions. Hangman talks about, you know, having this perception, and I feel they both have this perception of what should be, could be, what's supposed to happen here, but Spirit's saying it's definitely a mystery, so neither parties are privy to what is actually supposed to happen, and they're supposed to release and walk away from this emotional tie to an outcome or to a perception in order to come together with this Two of Cups and work diligently on making this Two of Cups happen by focusing on the small things, being present, because the Eight of Pentacles is someone who's very meticulous, especially when it comes to the fine details of making things just right. So I feel like there needs to be a tweaking of things just right in order to share this Two of Cups. And here we see the Page of Cups, which is offering this cup of love, okay, which is the infancy of two people coming together with love, which I feel is happening here in this connection, which is absolutely beautiful. So let's take a look at channel messages. So what does the dragonfly, if they could say anything to this hyena, what does the dragonfly want to tell this hyena person? Oh, we won't take all these. Spirit, can we get just a few? Okay, so it says, I just want to cuddle. Oh, that is very cute. Let's say cuddle with this grumpy hyena. Isn't that cute? Okay. I want you to move closer to me. Okay, so potentially there is a distance here. I do feel as though I was feeling like mentally there's definitely a distance, because I feel like the dragonfly is kind of a little bit hard to pin down, or like a little bit fluttery, kind of all over the place. And I feel like the hyena is a lot more stable. And so yeah, I just feel like if the hyena, like if the dragonfly is saying I want you to move closer to me, it's like because the dragonfly just keeps like moving away and coming back, or like fluttering about and maybe flip-floppy in their mindset. And I feel like there's a need to just kind of hold still here for a bit, but I don't know if the dragonfly is able to do that just with the two butterfly type looking things, right, with the wings. I just feel like they can't like sit still, or they have ADD, maybe ADHD, I don't know, but I feel like they want to be closer in some capacity and then make love to me. So I do feel there's definite love towards this hyena person. Okay, so what does the hyena want to tell the dragonfly? What is it again? Is it a dragonfly or a firefly? Oh yeah, dragonfly. What does the hyena want to tell the dragonfly person if they were to tell them anything? I feel like the hyena is still a little bit angry for what the dragonfly is putting the hyena through is kind of what I'm feeling, but let's see. I need to focus on myself right now. Yeah, so hyena is, I think, a little bit licking its wounds because of igniting that softening of the calcification where the hyena was very fixed. I feel like the hyena was so fixed and he's been ignited to review where he's been fixed. I'm trying to move on. Okay, so I do feel like this hyena is really trying to release a lot of their fixed natures. And part of them, I think, feels as though if they can separate from this dragonfly to figure things out right now, that they'd be able to clear up this energy that's kind of conflicting with the yin and yang, dark and light. You are so amazing to me. Yeah, so I do feel this hyena is a little bit conflicted. I don't feel as though this hyena wants to be without this dragonfly, but I feel like the hyena isn't quite sure. You know, they want to move forward from their pain. They want to move forward in this connection. They're not sure how to move forward in the connection, and they're not quite able to move away from the connection. So how could they move on? I feel like they're kind of stuck in this calcification or trying to lick their wounds or figure out why they're feeling the way they're feeling right now. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this is the dragonfly and kind of what they like about the hyena or the characteristics of the hyena or the situation with the hyena. What do they like about this destined relationship that's came out in pile 1? So yeah, I feel like because this dragonfly is very spiritual, I think the dragonfly had realization of what this connection actually means, and they feel this is a destined relationship to many spirit. So yeah, I feel like they kind of already knew what was going on here well before the hyena might have started to understand what this was about. Relax. So I think the hyena, yeah, definitely, even though this is a fluttery nature, I feel like the hyena feels they could be themselves. They feel really relaxed and calm around this dragonfly. I feel like there's this no need to backbite, no need to be defensive, no need to be, you know, controlling of emotions and so fixed, that I feel like the hyena can actually truly relax and be themselves around this dragonfly person, which I think is making this hyena a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest, because I don't think the hyena has had a safe place to relax and be themselves. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so let's pull some charms, and we'll also pull songs, and we'll do some timelines and the pendulum. So make sure you have some questions, or a question, a yes no question, for when we get into that. But let's start with the charms. And all right, I feel like I want a little bit more actually. So let's start with the tarot here. We have the Two of Pentacles, which I feel is the juggling between what the hyena is trying to look to balance out, because I feel like there's a big need for this hyena to really find balance in themselves before they can balance out this connection. And I feel like the dragonfly, sorry, I keep calling it firefly. Maybe it is a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sag. But I feel like there's a need for a coming together and a flow within this connection that hasn't quite flowed yet, back and forth, because I feel like hyena's still working on balancing themselves out, and I do feel like this fluttery feeling coming from the dragonfly. So it's making this dragonfly very skittish, because they can't really, this hyena doesn't seem very reliable, or at least it seems like the hyena might bite the dragonfly. So they're kind of testing what's going on here, and there's definitely need for balance. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles here again. The Queen of Pentacles was coming up in the dragonfly's energy, so I'm feeling very heavy Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and I'm feeling this mother energy, this stability, this solid, reliable, independent type, It could very well be wife material, single mom material, someone very good at cooking, cleaning, using their hands to create. I just feel like this is such a well-versed, balanced type energy. Okay. So now we have friends. So maybe this started off as friends, as a friendship. I am getting for some of you guys that friends might be a third-party interference here, or at least kind of maybe influencing the connection in some sort of way. We have football. So football could be significant. Either one of these two can play football or like football in some capacity. I'm also feeling with this football card that is kind of seems almost like a game of football, because I feel like there's this ball that's kind of going back and forth, and each person is trying to like get down the field with the other one. So I feel like there's this like back and forth, but what I feel is happening is Spirit is just saying like, because we were saying that needs to surrender, I feel like there's more of a focus on driving the ball to the end rather than just like allowing things to kind of feel. Okay, so we got this evergreen tree, which could mean Christmas time is important, because this does look like a Christmas tree. Could also mean forest, maybe. Forest also gives me like an adventure. So I feel like this connection is certainly an adventure. Like when you get lost in the forest, like you're not really knowing what to expect. You can't really see behind the tree type thing. Also talks about being green all year long, the needles. So I feel like there is a lot of consistent health in this connection that can't just be torn away overnight or over a season. I feel like it's a very strong connection. P-E, so these are initials, either you or your person. P-E-U-S-A-V. So I'm getting pause. Okay, so maybe there's a period of pause in this connection. I'm also getting save, like saving the savor the moment, savior. Pseudo, I'm getting like pseudoscience or like pseudo. Yeah, I'm also getting the name Sue, Avery, Valerie, Sam, Sal. I'm also getting Dr. Seuss, so I don't know what that has to do with anything, but what I was getting was computer. So I think maybe someone here works with computers, saving, pausing, editing. Editing, I'm getting strong. And in the education system, I'm also getting, or at least there's something regarding education system. Australia. Sorry, I don't know why I said Australia. That was weird. I wasn't feeling it, but maybe that came from someone. Europe. Getting heavy Europe. Okay. I'm getting pickup truck. I'm getting a van, and yeah, I'm getting a van, very heavy. I'm getting a white van. I'm getting just a van in general. Savory, pseudoscience keeps coming up again, and save, and sup, like what's up, like slang, what's up. Okay, I don't know what that means to you guys, but that's what I'm getting. Okay, so 347, 387, is that not like slang for something like murder on the block, or is that 187? Maybe that's 187. Anyway, 3874. So we have March, August, July, and April being significant. Okay, or could very well be the 3rd, the 4th, the 8th, or the 7th of the month. Okay, 43 could be important. 34, 38, 37, 47, 48, 43. Whatever numbers you guys can make. Maybe this is someone's apartment number or some sort of number that might make sense. Phone number. I'm also getting forever here with this infinity. So there's like potential for this connection to provide infinite amount. Oh my gosh, even with this. Yeah, this infinite, and then with this infinite. Well, this isn't really infinity, but I'm really getting kind of like that same two balls or whatever. This infinite amount of potential in this connection, even with this, like there's this ability to, come back from resistance, or yeah, if there is anything that's kind of trying to pull this connection apart, it kind of just bounces back. It's very resilient here. And I feel like maybe potentially there's friends maybe getting in the way. Again, this is coming up. This dolphin, yeah, dolphins are definitely loving creatures and very intelligent. And I think dolphins also mate for life, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe there is this like mating or partnership for life here. Yeah, I was feeling with fertility too. Maybe there's a maybe there is a way to birth something, maybe a family, or yeah, some sort of family. Star, so could very well be a dream come true. Stars also talk about distance, or like a star is something you can't quite grasp. Like I feel like this dragonfly is kind of like a star in some sort of way, or at least the hyena feels like you can't quite grasp this dragonfly. It's like a star. Maybe the dragonfly is in the public eye in some capacity here with the stardom, or like at least the hyena feels like this dragonfly is a star. Okay, we got the number 6 here coming up on the dice, which is June. 6 is also lovers, so we'll talk about a choice. We have the coin, a pentacle here, so a very heavy earth energy. I'm going to we're going to go towards Capricorn, but this could be the Ace of Pentacles, which I believe was the only ace we were not seeing, because we saw the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands on both sides, and the Ace of Swords. Ace of Pentacles, because this is one pentacle, is, I don't think this connection is grounded, or at least the first step in building something together in this 3D. I think it may all be kind of not planted yet, or at least not solidified, this connection. Okay, for some of you guys. Here we have fireworks. Yeah, I feel like there's definite fireworks between these two. Celebrations, fireworks. I think both these two like to celebrate each other. And then with the 2 major arcana, we have the Empress. I was going to say High Priestess. Ooh. Empress. Okay, so this is divine feminine. This is fertility again at its finest. This is abundance. Okay, I feel like there's this infinite amount of abundance and fertility within this connection to be had. And I feel like, yeah, like the hyena definitely sees this dragonfly as their empress. And then the hangman, we're seeing again this need to release, I think, this perspective, or at least come into a perspective that whatever's going to happen might be for the best, rather than their own individual need for controlling how things will unfold here. I think Spirit really wants to communicate that. Okay, so let's take a look at timelines. Now, these could very well be birthdays, anniversary dates, or next period of contact, if you guys are in a period of no contact, or when the next significant timeline in this connection. So we'll pull a few of these. So we have November, so November could be significant. Okay. November. So maybe something happened this past November. And we have later on. Okay, so you might hear from your person later on today. I'm also getting from this later on that's that perspective again. It's like what's going to happen later on, like a need to know and control, and just to kind of let things go. The 17th might be important. That came out in pile number 1 as well. So 17th of the month, maybe 17 days from now, maybe there's something significant. And we got night. So maybe you and your person are more active at night. Okay. Maybe you guys met in the nighttime, but I'm feeling like maybe there's more ability to connect at night. Maybe you guys are more creative at night, or nighttime brings out different sides of this connection than it does in the morning, but there's an emphasis on night. Okay, so let's pull a song card here for you and your person before we do the pendulum. Spirit, can we get a song card here for pile number 2? What's a song? We've got Usher, There Goes My Baby. There goes my baby. Ooh, girl, look at you. You don't know how good it feels to call you my girl. There goes my baby. Loving everything you do. Oh, girl, look at you. Very cute. I feel like this is coming from the hyena to this dragonfly is what I'm feeling. All right, so think of a question. Okay, this will be a yes or no, very clear. And yeah, and think of your yes or no, very clear. And You can pause, think of your question. Okay, ask your question and I'll let you know if it's a yes or no answer. Okay, go. Okay, so the answer is no at this time. Energy fluctuates, so it could very well be no right now, but yes in the future. But for right now, the way energy is sitting, the answer was no. So take that kind of as it resonates. And yeah, I really enjoyed this reading. So if you were drawn to any other pile, you might want to go check that out and see if the other piles are resonating in some sort of way. But I appreciate you guys so much. Love and light. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3. If you pick this pinkish, bluish, iridescent glass heart, then this is your reading. Now, I pre-shuffled the oracles. I've not looked at them at all. Okay, we'll be doing a you versus your person, and you can either resonate with person A or person B. Sometimes when I'm channeling, I might reference you as one side and say you, but just kind of keep track of who you're more resonating with. And you could very well be mirroring your person, so there might be similarities, and that just means that your person and you are vibrating in the same wavelength and reflecting each other in energies. So it might be difficult to tell yourself apart, but at some point you might resonate more with the other. And we'll take a look at blended energies as well, and then we'll pull some tarot to take a deeper look at the connection. We'll pull some strengths, some channel messages, some charms, a music card, and then at the end we'll do a pendulum. Yes, no questions. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Lots to cover, and this video is very long. So let's get started with you and your person. Okay, so I'm going to start with this person over here, which could be you or your person. Ooh, we got the hummingbird. Okay, this is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We got Urzuli with pay attention. That's a beautiful card. We got the warrior, the number 10. We have I relate in peace. And we got synchronicity. Okay. Now for the other person on this side, we got the snake. Okay. So this is earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Could also technically be water as well. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You might resonate with that. Okay. Hood love with community. The dead end. These two cards are kind of very similar with the circle and then the hatched inner imagery. I achieve with integrity. It's also giving me a sense of community here with all those people. And we have the uncreated. Okay. So I'm going to flip the shared energies as well before I get into channeling. So between you and your person here, we have the cosmic flower with the number 18 or the number 9, which is the frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. All right, beautiful. And we have ascendant with entrance in the number 35. Or the number 8. Entrance. Okay. And beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation with the number 6. 6 can also be the lover's card in the tarot. Okay, so what I'm feeling with this connection is that I think both parties are trying to find a place in this earth, okay? Like they're calling or where it is that they want to invest maybe the rest of their life. I feel like they're really searching for a place that they can call home, okay? And what I'm feeling is going on here with the hummingbird, we have synchronicity and pay attention. I feel like the hummingbird is getting signs, synchronicities, and pushed by the spirit, by God, by a higher source to really start to address areas of their life that maybe they weren't taking so seriously. I feel like, I feel like the hummingbird here might have not have been as committed to moving down a path that they felt was their calling or true to what it is that they want. Because maybe they didn't really have a sense of purpose, I'm almost finding, or at least they didn't feel like there was anything worth fighting for. Okay, so I feel like this snake person could have potentially triggered this hummingbird person to really take a look at these synchronicities and yeah, fight for something that they believe in. And I feel like this hummingbird might be trying to figure out how to stick to and fight for and be very driven towards what they want without offending or compromising people in their environment or this connection as a whole. And I think that this hummingbird is learning how to manage that. Okay, because they might come off a little bit too driven towards achieving something rather than, you know, actually being more, yeah, I relate in peace, being a little bit more kind of peaceful about situations here. So I feel like also maybe the hummingbird is down a path right now that, yeah, they're down a path where they feel like they're being called to fight for, or at least where they feel they're finding their home, and where they think they're going to get all this fulfillment and joy and almost like emotional fulfillment and abundance. Because I feel like with the rainbow here and this rainbow kind of being here, it's like this hummingbird's driving towards what's going to emotionally fulfill them. But I feel like they might be ignoring these synchronicities with this pay attention to what this connection means. And they kind of have their blinders on. And I think they've been very much floaty-ish in their life, where they haven't been really pegged to fighting for or going in a direct course of action. I feel like the snake here is healing, definitely healing, shedding their old way, but they're very protective of their world. I feel like the snake's built up a world for themselves, and I feel like the snake is learning to kind of shed some of how they might have been in the past. But I feel like what they are encountering is this dead end, where they're kind of at the point where now they want to find a place that they can call home, because now that they've shed a lot of who they are, they're finding themselves not content, and maybe there's nothing more to be had in their world. So they're wanting to birth something new with the uncreated. This talks about infinite amount of possibility of creations. Okay, out of nothing, something is kind of birthed, and the world's your oyster. And I feel like the snake person is certainly wanting something to be built, that they feel this drive or this need to build with community. So I'm feeling very heavy community here with the community hood love, and I achieve with integrity, but there's all these people. So coming from a place of healing, coming from a place of maybe shedding clarity around others who are healing. Community could be a community online, could be, yeah, starting some sort of a community where they're creating healing or clarity or awareness around something, and creating this awareness. I feel like it's really creating awareness and healing. And I feel like your person, if this is your person, this snake person was feeling a sense of wanting a bigger purpose in their life. And I feel like this hummingbird's definitely triggered the snake person into focusing on this side. So I feel like both parties are kind of focused on their own thing. The hummingbird's focused on their getting what they think is going to fulfill them in some way, but they're ignoring synchronicities and signs from the universe, because I feel like the hummingbird's very much thinking that they know where it is that they want for themselves, based on just what they feel they want to fight for. And I feel like the snake has shed so much and has done some healing work, that they were left with just this looking from within and saying, okay, there has to be more to life, and getting this sense of purpose through this community and this engagement and this birthing this creative thing. Now I feel like with the cosmic flower talking about, you know, what we pour onto the world, I feel like both parties are wanting to contribute to the world in some capacity. And maybe the hummingbird, I don't see it here, but the hummingbird wants to be able to shed some sort of humanitarian gift to the world and be a warrior or a fighting warrior and stand against, yeah, stand against evil, I feel like here. So maybe unjust. Maybe this hummingbird has a sense of duty to humanity and fighting evil, and maybe being, yeah, standing for a cause. Maybe they're like a activist of sorts, standing for a cause. So I feel like both parties are kind of contributing to the world in some way. This entrance with ascendant, number 35, entrance. Yeah, I feel like this is a pivotal time right now for both these individuals in their life and also coming together. So if they've just come together, which I don't feel like they have, I feel like these two have been together for quite some time, and now they're kind of serving their purpose of what they feel they are driven to do. But I feel like they're now entering a period of transition. They're now entering this soul journey or purpose by each other's side, but I still feel like they're kind of looking away from each other here. So lay a solid foundation. So I feel like, I don't know if this connection has a solid foundation, but I feel like the solid foundation that's being built is their dedication and their duty to humanity, to society, to community, to a cause, to a fight here. So I do feel like there is this connection of sorts, but I do feel like Spirit's wanting there to be a solid foundation. I feel like they're still together. I don't know that there has been a foundation, and maybe this entrance talks about entering into a period where a foundation needs to be laid. Because I feel like Cosmic Flower is kind of more talking about, you know, this this gift that they're bringing to the world and bestowing upon the world, but still hasn't really grounded this connection. Okay, so let's take a look at the tarot and see what we see. Okay, so we'll do the hummingbird and then we'll do the snake and see what is the hummingbird feeling about this connection, or the snake. What's going on with the hummingbird here? Can we get a deeper look? Spirit, thank you so much for a clear and concise message. And thank you so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy of you and your person. I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look what we have. We have 10 of Swords. Okay, let's keep going. 10 of Wands. Wow, 2 10s. Yeah, that entrance was talking about a new beginning. Death. All of these mean death. Oh, wow, that is... I'm going to pull one more. The end of a cycle. And Temperance. Wow, this is very powerful. Yeah, the hummingbird person is going through a transformation, a death. And I really felt like what I was explaining here was they were... not seeing synchronicities and paying attention to what they were supposed to be doing. But I feel like there's this sense of purpose that this hummingbird is kind of driven on. And maybe I still feel like the hummingbird is still kind of closed off or not seeing something here. I feel like painful ending, a heavy burden, putting an end to something here. Okay, and maybe it's that one-track mind, or what they thought was being a warrior, what that meant, or what that is meaning. You know, what it could also mean. And with Temperance, it's like balancing that out. It's really bringing 5D into 3D reality in some capacity. You're bringing in the right amount of ingredients to make something happen here, and healing as well. So I feel like there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. I feel like the hummingbird might have been ignoring signs and synchronicities to heal themselves, or even signs and synchronicities in this connection. Yeah, investing maybe in this connection in some sort of capacity, having to put an end to how they've been. All right, let's look at the snake and see, how does a snake feel towards a hummingbird here, or this connection? Thank you, Spirit, for a clear and concise message. All right, so we have the Queen of Cups. Wow, beautiful. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces again that I was feeling, even though we were saying Earth, I did pick that up. So with my intuition, that's more confirmation. Okay, the High Priestess here. Wow, this is a beautiful energy, this snake person. I feel like the snake person has very strong intuition, very creative, very focused on this project of community. Let's pull 2 more cards. We have the Lovers. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Yeah, I feel like the snake person is well in tune with what this connection could mean with the Lovers and the High Priestess. Okay, there's a deep, deep love here with both the Lovers and the Queen of Cups. And I feel like this person might be challenged with making a decision between focusing maybe a little bit more on this connection or moving towards this creative community. Because Lovers talks about a choice of 2 things that we could love, potentially between 2 people, or it could be between a person and something we love. But there's this knowing here, and there's this deep, deep, deep love, creation, creativity, gentleness, emotion, softness, intuition, just a magical spiritual being. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, Ace of Swords is talking about a truth, okay, coming into a truth. And I feel like what's happening here with this Queen of Cups or snake person is they're coming into a truth of who they are and what they have to bring to this world. Okay, this Ace of Swords talks about potentially coming to a realization or some clear truth that allows them to move in truth, move forward with truth, accept the truth, communicate truth, and could be truth around, you know, what it is that they truly love, what it is they truly want to do, how they truly want to move forward with themselves. I feel like they've done a lot of healing in shedding their egoic self here with the snake. And I feel like they've done so much shedding and healing that they hit this dead end. So normally with the dead end, I feel like there's a sense of panic, but I wasn't picking that up here with the snake. I was more picking up like the snake just healed and shed and shed and shed till they found themselves at this dead end, or with raw, without any sort of ego or any unhealthy ego. Because I mean, ego could also be healthy, in order to create, in order to share, in order to build. And I feel like that's their truth, was shedding, finding their true calling, what they really emotionally feel their true calling is here. Okay, so I'm still seeing there's like a disconnect between these 2 people getting grounding something, because I still feel like they're both in their own little worlds doing their own little thing right now. And not that that's bad, but I'm not even getting a sense of these 2 people are energetically laying foundation. I feel like they're both focusing on completely different things right now. So maybe that's the case. So what I'm going to do is pull future potential or actions within this connection. What's going to happen within this connection between these 2 individuals? What's happening between these 2 individuals in this connection? Spirit, thank you. Yeah, because I really want to see what's going on between these 2. Okay, 2 of Cups. Wow, that's beautiful. Partnership. These are going to come into partnership. 3 of Swords. Ooh, that's heartbreak. That's separation. So maybe there's a separation in this partnership right now that you guys are going through heartbreak between the 2 of you guys. Temperance. Okay, so a need for healing. Maybe you guys have been separated for a bit. There's a need to heal. There's a need to work together. Okay, the 2 cups here, the 2 cups here, bringing in the right amount of stuff into this connection. 5 of Pentacles, it's being down and out. And we got the Devil here. So some addictions, some unhealthy behaviors, some codependencies. And then we got the 8 of Swords. So 8 of Swords is talking about limiting beliefs, being restricted, being held back by either mental thought or some restrictions that we put on ourselves or that others put on us that we tend to believe that may hold us back. Seeing the Devil here, there's definitely a holding back of working together and balancing things out. And maybe there's a need to heal heartache from the past. And maybe both of you guys feel down and out because you guys are kind of being separate right now. So there's a need to lay foundation in this connection. The Hierophant. Wow, that's higher learnings both of you guys are on, but it can also talk about this connection, because that's what I asked specifically about, coming into next level energy when it comes to this connection, next level commitments. Yeah, taking this kind of to the next level. King of Swords. Okay, so yeah, I'm feeling like there's potentially a divide right now and foundation needing to be laid. Maybe you guys are in a period of separation. You guys are focusing on your own creations. The Moon, there's some fear still here. Let's just pull a clarifier for the devil. I want to see what that devil energy was about, Spirit. Sorry, I wiped the board, but what's with the devil? Okay, the devil was, again, this 8 of Swords, which was that limiting belief, being held back. Yeah, maybe Page of Swords. This is communication, facing some challenge with truth. Painful situation that needs to be addressed, that maybe both of you guys aren't addressing, that need communication. Kind of feeling like, who's in the 8 of Swords? Who's in the 8 of Swords here? Why is there an 8 of Swords and a devil? Why is there holding back? This is the 6 of Wands. This is somebody's ego. Okay, this person dropped their ego. Like, that was very clear. I saw that almost instantaneously. 6 always kind of gives me ego. It does talk about victory, so I feel like there's definitely an ability to be victorious here, okay? With the 6 and the 6 here, I feel like that's just confirmation. You guys are going to be victorious and coming together in a partnership, okay? However that might be. I feel like with the Hierophant could even potentially mean marriage, whatever marriage means to you in this higher level commitment. But I'm feeling like when I had asked what's going on with that 8 of Swords and that devil energy, I got this card, and first thing I popped up was ego, and I was feeling like this hummingbird is really needing to work on their ego. And I feel like they were driving towards, you know, fighting evil, or maybe this whole thing of having this cause, or yeah, this cause. But I also feel like it might be ego driven in some sort of capacity, or at least they're needing to address their ego in order to be able to have the freedom to battle that a little bit better. And I do feel like there's no real negative ego coming from here. So maybe this person here, this hummingbird, needs to work on addictions, holding themselves back, telling themselves untruths. I mean, it could be any one of those with the devil. But the 8 of Swords is definitely, maybe they're their own worst enemy and holding themselves back. Maybe they're telling themselves something that's not quite true, you know, and they're kind of needing to release this ego. Okay, so now let's take a look. And maybe this person, the snake person, sees the ego in the hummingbird, so they're just kind of not really wanting to entertain. And the hummingbird is like just kind of maybe trying to be a warrior now in some sort of way. Creative. So this is what the hummingbird likes about the snake person, or the connection. Creative. So I feel like it's twofold. I think the hummingbird really likes the creativity of the snake, but I feel like the hummingbird is also likes the way that they're able to create now that they have met the snake or know the snake. I feel like there's this creative energy that the hummingbird is learning to embrace right now, that I feel is really driving this hummingbird. Okay, and as far as the snake goes, fashion and clothing. Okay, well, that sounds to me like, I'm going to pull one card, but maybe this person is in family. Okay, well, I feel like here with the community, this person is potentially focused on something creative that's allowing people to express themselves either through fashion or clothing, literally, or allowing people to heal themselves in such a way that they're able to impact their outer look. Family's talking to me about this community feeling again. I feel like they're really building a community of people that are coming together. And I feel like this fashion and clothing also talks about outside perceptions in such a way. So I feel like these outside perceptions of what could even be egoic in nature, that they're helping people heal from or release, or, you know, yeah, I'm really feeling this like external materialistic type energies that this person is being able to help others see in such a capacity. And because this is about this connection, I feel like maybe this person wants to create something here in this connection that helps this hummingbird see where they might be a little bit in their ego or a little bit in their physical world rather than their spiritual internal world here with the fashion and clothing. Okay, so take whatever resonates there. That is interesting. Also, I'm getting this person's probably their appearance is probably very well groomed, or very well, can dress very well, or looks very well, or that sort of thing. which could be confirmation. Okay, so yeah, I do feel like looks for this person, even though they're dropped their ego, is kind of important. Okay, let's take a look at, we'll do charms, we'll do a song card, some timelines, the pendulum, but first we're going to do just charms, and before we get into all that, and see what we get. I want to look. Okay, ooh, I'm throwing things. Okay, so, thought I saw something fly somewhere else, maybe not. Okay. So we have initials P and 2 Z's. Oh my gosh, you know what? This is giving me asleep at the wheel. So somebody's, I think, sleeping on this connection. I have a feeling it might be the hummingbirds kind of asleep to this connection and not paying attention to synchronicities with the ZZZ. I also feel like maybe this has been a connection that's been ongoing for a while, and I feel like both parties are potentially really tired, okay? And I'm also getting like pizza, paparazzi almost. So maybe there is fashion and clothing, like maybe somebody here is like has this image in the limelight. Maybe this person is kind of in the limelight, has this image. Okay, so heart. So we did see the 3 of Swords, so there's definitely some heart healing that needs to happen here. This leaf always, because it's such a big leaf, I always get like making shelter out of leaves. It's almost like, yeah, like I feel like there is a need to kind of use what's around to make shelter or to provide comfort in some sort of way. I also get like, this could definitely be like regrowth in this connection. There needs to be a regrowth or even shedding of leaves. You know, in fall time we shed leaves, so it could be a stage. I do feel like there's this transition for sure with the entrance. It's giving me threshold getting onto the next, so it could either be the leaves are falling or there's new regrowth of within this connection right now. And there's the 9 of Swords with its heavy anxiety and this 4 of Swords. So this is really telling me that you guys are in a period of separation. I keep getting that feeling. Okay, 4 of Swords is like taking a break, relaxing one's heart to restore it in order to be able to move on to the next step in a connection because of heartache. You know, having to deal with the separation and repair one's heart. And there's a lot of anxiety here, maybe in coming together right now, because maybe you don't feel ready. There's the Empress token. So I feel like the Empress, to me, I was getting heavy Empress vibes from this snake person, but could definitely just talk about the abundance here. And I feel like both parties are bringing abundance to humanity. And I feel like there's a lot of abundance to be had here in this connection still with the uncreated energy. Hangman, okay, double confirmation. So there's a perception right now that maybe is going on in this connection. And I feel it's a lot from this hummingbird that might be hung up on one perception that may not necessarily be the truth. So there's a need for higher perspective of what this connection is. And I feel like this hummingbird needs to accept or at least acknowledge these synchronicities that are going on right now, that maybe they're not accepting this connection for what it is for whatever reason, but this Hangman is all about taking a higher perspective. This is also pure to limbo, so not a movement card, not a movement card, not a movement card, not a movement card. There's no movement right now, so it might be challenging. Okay, so I see a birthday cake here. So maybe someone's birthday just happened recently or is right around the corner. I'm also seeing 5 candles on this cake, so maybe someone's birthday is in May. Okay, May birthday, maybe a May anniversary, maybe someone likes sweets, maybe someone works in a bakery. I'm seeing flowers, so flowers could be significant here. Okay, maybe you guys send each other flowers. A pentacle, now this is 1 pentacle, so could be grounding this connection, and I totally felt like that's what we were missing here. We're totally missing grounding this connection. Lay a solid foundation would start on 1 pentacle, okay? Coming forward with an offering of grounding this connection, taking that first step, planting that first seed in what it's going to manifest in this 3D world, because I don't feel like this connection has been come together yet, okay? This is also Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, okay? And here we have a briefcase. I don't know what this is. A briefcase, a little luggage. This looks like a day luggage, maybe. yeah, like a day luggage. So maybe you guys are at a distance. Maybe you guys are gonna plan a trip together somewhere. But I feel like this luggage could mean in it for the long haul. Okay, and here we have the Queen. I think this is the Queen. Sorry, I'm not very good with chess, but I feel like this Queen, because it is like this ivory color or whatever, I feel like there's this purity about this snake person. I'm really feeling like Empress, Queen-like, independent. Yeah, I feel like the divine feminine has got her shit together here with this single piece, and I feel like she's potentially waiting for the divine masculine to figure out his stuff, right? And I say he, she, but and really at the end of the day, I feel like just a snake person feels more like they're able to move in their own direction, and the Queen yeah, is able to really make strides in her life. I feel like strides with this community thing we were seeing. All right, so let's take a look at dates. Now these could be anniversaries, birthdays, when you're gonna get together next, or significant milestones. We have summer, so maybe you guys met in the summertime. Maybe this past summer was significant, or maybe there'll be some heavy movements here in this connection in the summertime, but summer is definitely significant. Summer also is giving me this whole regrowth. So maybe there's this regrowing of the connection where things are starting to, you know, with that, yeah, we were seeing that entrance. It's like a transition. I feel like summertime is where everything's kind of growing. November. Okay, so maybe someone's birthday is in November, or November might be significant here. Maybe this past November something has happened. We have 24, so November 24th, or maybe just on the 24th of something, maybe the 24th of a summer month. It can also be February 4th for April 2nd. Okay, for some of you guys, might be significant. Pull one more. We got 29. Okay, so the 29th might be important. That is also, well, is that a leap year date? I don't know. And I don't think we're in leap year this year, but 29th could be someone's birthday. Also, this could be February 9th or September 2nd. Okay, so those are some dates for you guys. February seems to be repeating here, so maybe there is something with February. Could also be November 29th. Okay. Or the 29th of a summer month. So let's pull a song card and then think of a question, because you're going to be asked for a yes or no question, and we'll get that. But first we'll pull a song card for you and your person and your connection. So, ooh, 50 Cent, best friend. If I was your best friend, I want you around all the time. I want you around me all the time. Can I be your best friend? If you promise you'll be mine. Girl, promise you'll be mine. Please say he's just a friend. Uh-huh. Now, girl, let's not pretend. Come on. Either he is or he ain't your man. Haha. Please say he's just a friend. If I was your best friend, I would want you around all the time. I would want you around me all the time. Can I be your best friend? If you promise you'll be mine. Girl, promise you'll be mine. Please say he's just a friend. Uh-huh. Now, girl, let's not pretend. Come on. Either he is or he ain't your man. Haha. Please say he's just a friend if I was your best friend. All right. So maybe there's some insecurities here around a third party energy maybe entering this situation. Maybe the hummingbird wants to know that this snake person is all theirs, or vice versa. Okay, so think of a yes-no, very clear question with a yes-no answer, and I will give you an answer, okay? So you can pause this, think of your question, and then come back when you're ready. Okay, so ask your question. Okay. So the answer to your question is yes, okay, but energy does fluctuate. So it'd be yes for now, and it could certainly change depending on energies, but as things are going right now, the energy is showing a yes. So that is the answer to your question. I had so much fun doing these readings, very long video. I apologize. Let me know if you guys like short ones, long ones. I don't know what I'm going to see, but I did certainly enjoy doing these readings. All right, so I wanted to say, because I don't think I say it enough, thank you for all of you guys engaging in my channel, subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. I appreciate you guys so much. My subscribers allow me to tap into your energy so I can do more in-depth readings around energy. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I'd love to hear your feedback or any suggestions on videos that you'd like to see. All right, see you soon. Bye, guys.